Hello everyone, it's Imran here. Welcome back to another video. Today is Halloween, so happy Halloween to anyone who's celebrating. For this Halloween, I am going to react to the sixth and final story from Volume 5 of Tales from a Scrap Siding, and this one is called The Winter of Sodor. So, the AI generated video summary says, on a snowy Sodor, Percy encounters a mysterious white tank engine with striking eyes in Henry's forest. The unsettling encounter leaves Percy and the other engines deeply disturbed by the engine's chilling presence and backstory. This tale explores the legend of a lost, lonely engine. So this one's going to be, I think, a bit of a sad story. It is on Halloween. It is, and it's a winter-themed story as well. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what this ghost wall in Henry's Forest is all about. So yesterday, last one I reacted to was a grim end. It was, so you want to see much that out. I had on top right corner of your screen. I mean, I have enjoyed all the stories so far this year. Yeah, and let's see if we end off on a good note with this story. Link to the video I'm reacting to in the description down below as always. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into this. The Winter of Sodor.
Winter on the island of Sodor can be very busy and very cold, as many of the engines have to work hard to get their loads delivered on time, especially given how hard working in snow is and how easy it is to get stuck in it.
Yep, we know.
One night, Percy was finishing his mail run, and he stopped at a red signal in Henry's Forest. Poor Percy was shivering as he waited for the signal to change.
Oh, I wish I was back in my nice warm shed,
he complained. Snow fell softly. Everything in the forest was covered in a blanket of light.
It's supposed to be the forest.
After a while, the ambience was broken by what seemed to be the soft sound of an engine's puffing.
A minute in and we've already got the ghost.
Doc? Henry? Thomas?
The puffing got closer and louder, and the lack of an answer from the owner of that puffing made Percy uneasy. He was about to call out again when something rolled up beside him. It was a tank engine that was white all over, had a tall funnel, a short dome, and 6 small wheels. But what Percy noticed the most were a pair of bright red eyes which stood out from his entire body, which to the saddle tank looked like the engine was cloaked in the snowy forest.
Yep.
Percy felt the water in his tanks go cold as his surroundings as the engine looked towards Percy.
Hello? Who are you?
The engine didn't respond. He just looked at Percy with a solemn expression. Percy then noticed something else. A small tear came from one of the engine's eyes, only it was an ice droplet. The frozen tear went down the engine's face before hitting its buffer beam with a tap. The tense silence was broken when the engine let off steam with a Percy was so frozen in place he might as well have become Jack Frost again. His crew were just as frightened, not just by the engine's chilling appearance, but also because neither could see a crew in the engine's cab. Finally, the engine quietly steamed away and disappeared into the forest. Percy was so scared that as soon as his signal changed to green, he steamed straight out of the forest as fast as he could.
Whoa.
Soon Percy was back at the sheds. He was tired and traumatized by his encounter, which the other engines noticed.
What's wrong, Percy?
asked Thomas.
You look like you've seen a ghost.
Percy took a moment to find his words before he spoke.
I may as well I saw a mysterious white tank engine while in Henry's forest.
Yep.
Oh, come on, little Percy. You've seen Stanley before, and he's certainly not scary.
It wasn't Stanley.
Percy snapped.
This engine was completely white all over. Not just his boiler and cab, but his buffer beam, footplate, frames, everything.
Mm-hmm.
The engines were left in a stunned silence by Percy's description of the engine. Finally, Henry spoke up.
So, winter is still here?
He said solemnly.
Winter?
Winter? That's his name?
That's what we call him.
And this is the story Henry told.
Oh, Henry's the one telling the story.
Around the time I came to Sodor, there were many other engines that would come and go. Among them was a small engine on loan from the other railway. He was kind, helpful, and a very friendly sort, but many didn't find his appearance at all too nice.
Oh.
He had no real paint job, just a white undercoat. His irises were as red as James's paintwork, and he had no name or number.
Oh. So that he was essentially just like this. He just had white paint and red eyes from the get-go when he was on Sodor.
We all took to calling him Winter because when that season would come, he would blend into the snow. Only his eyes would stand out. The passengers didn't take a liking to poor Winter because of this, so he was only ever used for shunting. One day, we received news that Winter's old railway would file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy and were withdrawing their engines. The fat director felt bad for Winter, but he had no money to buy him. Winter was so distressed that he steamed away from the station, tears streaming down his face as he did so. That was the last time any of us ever saw him. Time went by, more engines came and stayed, and Winter was soon forgotten. However, he never truly left us. One night, I was passing by my forest with a flying kipper, when rolling up beside me was Winter, who looked in terrible shape, and he had no crew. The only recognition I had of him were those scarlet red eyes. Looking at him, I also noticed a new thing. The tears he cried would turn into ice droplets the moment they left his eyes. I don't know what exactly may have happened to him, but it seems he's still with us after so many years, forever roaming the forest as a lost, sad soul.
All the engines were silent and were uneasy as they went to sleep. The next night, Duck was on his way with a delivery of fish vans for the Flying Kipper in the morning when he stopped by a signal, the same one Percy had stopped at the night before. He could hear the soft puffing and looked around to see where it was coming from. And then rolling up next to him was Winter.
Yep.
Duck was petrified. Winter's scarlet red eyes looked in Duck's direction, while his frozen tears shone in the moonlight.
That must be horrible.
Eventually,
That Winter's the way he is because he just wanted to be a really useful engine and, well, his railway filed for bankruptcy, the Fat Controller couldn't purchase him at the time. I think it was, nobody wanted on passengers liked him because of how he looked. It must have been a lot for him to take in.
the engine rolled away with a whoosh, disappearing into the snowy forest. Duck didn't know what to think, even after Henry told him about the snowy specter. It wasn't long until all the engines heard of the spooky spirit of the forest. Some would hear the puffing while going into the forest, or would meet the engine face to face while at that signal. Many were unsettled by his appearance. But one night, after Percy's encounter it all changed. It was late at night, and Gordon was getting ready to take a night express, but he was feeling an odd pain.
This isn't good, but I must pull through. My passengers are counting on me.
You really shouldn't be doing this, Gordon.
This express was particularly important. The Fat Controller was on board, along with many important people. The guard blew his whistle, and Gordon started off, making his way out of the station. Gordon made it down the main line without much trouble, eventually reaching Henry's Forest, the final stretch before the workstation. But right as he entered the forest...
There it is.
He hissed as he slowed to a stop in the middle of the forest. The crew inspected the damage.
Looks like you burst your safety valve again, Gordon.
The driver said,
Again.
We shall have to get help.
Again.
Oh, just what I needed. The absolute indignity of it all. If bursting my safety valve while pulling an important train wasn't bad enough, I just so happened to stop at the very same place everyone says they've seen a...
But before Gordon could continue, he felt a soft bump from behind, followed by a whistle the big engine didn't recognize. A sign that his mysterious rescuer was ready.
Go on, Sodor? Who is that?
By that point, everyone on the train wanted to get going again, so Gordon's crew decided to go ahead and let this mystery engine try. Gordon whistled back to say he was ready as well, and the train continued on. When they reached the workstation, the passengers cheered in delight.
In fact, I believe that honor should belong to that engine who brought us the rest of the way here.
But when everyone looked to the rear coach, no one was there. Gordon then saw Edward come in with a train of coal for the station.
Sorry I'm late. The snow is making it hard to get through.
I say, Edward, did you happen to see an engine leaving the station on your way here?
Oh, well, I'm sorry, Gordon, but no engines passed by me on the way here.
Gordon was speechless, and so was the Fat Controller.
No, that can't be right. Someone was clearly pushing me from Henry's Forest all the way up here.
The guard then walked up, just as perplexed as everyone else.
There was indeed an engine behind us, a white tank engine with red irises. I turned around for 1 second when we pulled in, and when I looked back, it was gone.
No one said a word. Edward shunted Gordon into the works before taking his train on. Once he brought the passengers to Vickerstown, they left on a train for the other railway. After that, Edward told the Fat Controller about Winter. They reached Henry's Forest and stopped at the signal Winter had been seen at many nights before. And before long, that white tank engine appeared from out of the gently falling snow.
So, you're Winter. I am truly sorry about how you were treated back then, and what became of you.
Yes.
And I do wish that my great-grandfather before me could have saved you. You might have given my engines quite the fright, but I know you aren't a harmful spirit, as you've proved when you helped Gordon earlier tonight. You've shown to us that even though you've shed your mortal coil, you are still a really useful engine.
Winter said nothing, but he gave a gentle smile. A couple of tears streamed down his face, but they were happy tears that didn't turn into ice droplets.
Wow.
The snowy spirit puffed back, disappearing into the snow once more. Once he was gone, Edward and the Fat Controller set off for Wellsworth. No one saw Winter again after that night. But even if he were to appear again, no one would be frightened of him.
No.
As they all know, he isn't a malevolent spirit, especially Gordon. Now, whenever he passes through Henry's forest during a snowy day or night, he passes by in a respectful silence for Winter, the snowy spirit.
Wow. That is, that is quite what a tragic end to this year's Tales from the Scrap Signing volume. When about the spirits of an engine who isn't evil, just sad and lonely. All Winter wanted was to be a really useful engine like everyone else on the Fat Controllers Railway, but the engines disliking how he looked, his railway going bankrupt, the Fat Controller's great grandfather not having enough money to purchase him. It absolutely crushed him. It did. He truly felt he didn't feel like he belonged there. Winter felt like he had nowhere he could go because no one on the Fat Controllers Railway liked him, and he couldn't go back to his old railway because they were bankrupt. And it just proved all too much for him. I wonder if Winter went into the forest and basically committed, you know what? Basically felt like he didn't want to live anymore, and ended up. He's not there physically anymore because he ended up doing suicide, but his spirit still lives on, wanting to help someone out, and boy oh boy, did he really help Gordon out on that night. Gordon could have been left stranded in the forest, but Winter came in clutch and pushed Gordon, he did. And I think that's when Edward realised they couldn't keep it from the Fat Controller any longer they could, and the Fat Controller decided Fat Controller decided to make sure Winter found his peace by telling him what a really useful engine he was for what he did to Gordon. And that's all Winter wanted to see. That I can't imagine how warm Winter must have felt inside his boiler for finally fulfilling what he wanted to do, be really useful, and everyone to applaud him for what he did. And it definitely seemed like he got that, albeit spiritly he did. So, yeah, this is actually quite a tragic story, it is, because it was about a spirit, but a spirit who just wants to be useful. He doesn't want to be lonely, he does. Just like Mr. Puzzles in SMG4. Mr. Puzzles may have done some very awful things in his time in SMG4, but he wasn't evil. He was just lonely. He wanted friends. He wanted to have, attention. He did, but he just went about the wrong way doing it. And obviously, Winter, as you can tell, is not a bad engine. He's just lonely, who just wants to be a really useful engine like everyone else on the Fat Controllers Railway. But you can see that comparison I'm making right there. It's not really a good comparison, but a good enough comparison, if you ask me. But yeah, that's the story. That is Tales from another year of Tales from the Scrap Siding by 22 Tales are finished. It is. I must say, this definitely made up for last year, after last year was only reduced down to one story, because 22 Tales was dealing a lot of personal troubles last year, he was. But yeah, there were some really great stories there were. Let me know in the comments down below, what was your favourite Tales from the Scrap Signing 5 story this year? If I was to say which one was my favourite, I think my favourite one would have to be the Misty Island one, because that one was that one was terrifying. That was purely terrifying of how the most hated place in the Thomas fandom and the most hated characters were turned absolutely evil. They were. I just can't get that one out of my head because of how creepy that one was. But CB Spooks was a close second for me. But let me know in the comments down below what was your favourite story from this year's Tales from the Scrap Signing 5. You do want to see my previous Tom's reaction as an audio story or transcription. I'll play this up in the top right corner of your screen right now. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like with me. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought this video I reacted to. Also know in the comments down below what other videos you want to react to next. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok. Links to them will be in the description down below. Share this video, subscribe if you're new here, and to get notified. Better play new videos on my post community tab, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!